Well, thank you for joining us. I'm Mary Yanez, Director of the Senior Adult Program, and this is Mature Living. As you can see, we're still virtually a recording from anywhere where we're at, wherever it's possible. And we want to thank you for joining us. We have an interesting guest to begin our show, one that has been with us for many, many years. And you'll recognize him because he works for the Social Security Administration Office as an outreach specialist. And so we have, hey, Ray Vigil's with us. Thank you for joining us, Ray.
Well, thank you, Mary, for giving me the opportunity.
You know, there's been some things going on lately. I don't know if it's caused by the COVID thing, but things have kind of picked up where there's more scams and fraud, and the elders, we need to make sure that they know how to protect themselves so that they know what's fake and what's, real. So can you share a little bit about yourself, first of all, because you've been with the Social Security Office for how many years now, Ray?
I've been with the Social Security Administration for 48 years already, okay? So.
Oh, my goodness.
And of course, you're right, okay? During this time of the year, during the last 12 months, individuals have actually come up with different ways that they can actually take advantage of the vulnerable population of the elderly. They come up with ideas that you would have never expected. We continue to have individuals that actually receive calls at all hours of the night, pretending that they are a representative from the Social Security Administration, from the federal government, even to include Internal Revenue, okay? And they're asking for personal information. They want to get a hold of your identity information so that they can actually take advantage of your maybe your credit record, your bank accounts, even your Social Security benefits. Okay, so if you receive a call from anyone pretending to be a representative from the Social Security Administration, they're going to be threatening you. They're going to tell you that they're going to call the police and that they're going to, in a couple of hours, they're going to come to your house and they're going to pick you up, or that they need your credit card number. They need for you to go buy a store credit card, or give them the bank information, your Social Security number. Those are scam calls. All they want to do is take advantage of you. So hang up. Do not give them any personal information. If you have any questions, any concerns, go to the Social Security website, which is socialsecurity.gov. Get a hold of the local Social Security office or the national toll-free number and let them know that someone called you pretending to be from Social Security and they were asking you for personal information. Now Social Security will call you. We will call you, but you are going to be aware of the fact that we have a case that we are working on and we need additional information. So there will be times that a Social Security representative will pick up the phone and call you to ask you for additional information, or we will send you most of the part or most of the time we're going to be sending you a letter. Letting you know that Social Security has questions and that we need to have a conversation with you, or that you would need to visit with a Social Security representative. But we will never threaten you. We will never ask you for credit card information or personal information. We already have that information, okay? Yeah. So there's no way that we can actually put a stop on that, okay? The only thing that we can suggest is that you go to oig.socialsecurity.gov and you actually file a complaint where you actually give us all the personal information about the call, the circumstances of the call, what kind of information were they asking you for, what kind of information did you give them, okay? And Social Security is actually building a case against those scammers. To see if we can actually put a stop to it, okay?
How can the scammers, how do they use our Social Security numbers? That would be horrible, but how do they use it? How do they damage our record?
Well, first and foremost, okay, the one thing that they can actually do once they get a hold of your social security number and your personal information, of course, is if you're receiving social security benefits, they can actually try to call the social security toll-free number or the local social security office. And they're not going to call, if they're calling from El Paso, they're not going to call the local social security offices. They're going to call a social security office somewhere else, okay? And they're going to try to redirect your social security benefits to a different account. Okay, this is one of the reasons that Social Security highly recommends that you set up your My Social Security account, because that way you can monitor your record. You know precisely where your Social Security benefits are going to. You know if somebody's been attempting to change the information on your account. So make sure that you actually take the time to visit the Social Security website, which is www.socialsecurity.gov, and set up your personal My Social Security account. Now, another thing that they can do once they get a hold of your Social Security number is they can take advantage of your credit record, okay? Wow. There's 3 different credit bureaus that you can actually call and put a lock on each one of the accounts so that nobody will actually take advantage of your credit record. And of course, there's other different things that they can do with your Social Security number. Okay, so
that really would be very damaging especially for an elder that doesn't know what's going on or why things have changed, and it get very entangled, and it's hard to untangle those things.
A lot of the elderly depend on their Social Security benefits. And if they're compromised and they're redirected or they're suspended because we suspect that there's something going wrong with the record, okay? The elderly are going to be in need. They need that money, okay? So the administration is working on trying to put a stop or put an end to this scam calls. Our job is actually to protect your personal information, to make sure that nobody compromises your Social Security number or any other personal information that we have on your Social Security record.
Okay, very good. There's going to be a lot of agencies that are trying to protect our elders, and one of them is the FBI, local FBI. We're going to be coordinating a virtual conference to talk specifically about scams and fraud and how the elders are being targeted. And so you're going to be invited. You're probably going to be part of a panel because there's many agencies that are working like you all, and you as a public affairs specialist for the Social Security Office are very, very important to our elders. And family members need to know this, not just the elders, but if any family member of any age can learn how to protect their elders in their family, neighbors, tias, tios, you know, that's really important for education. So you haven't been out in the community at all at conferences and doing presentations, right, Ray?
Right. Everything that I'm doing is virtual. Okay. If it's networking with a group of organizations, community organizations, we're doing everything virtually. If it's a pre-retirement seminar, I do it virtually. So I actually reach out to the community and to the different organizations out in the community. If you're in need of a Social Security presentation or someone to talk about Social Security, whether it be retirement, disability, Medicare, online services, whatever the need is, we can still do it virtually. We're still on 5 days a week, 8 hours a day. Okay. So
you're still in business.
Yes.
And so how can they access you or the Social Security if they have questions, if something has come up that they need to clarify? And you're still in business, like you say, even though we're doing everything virtually. How can they reach you? Is there an 800 number?
Okay, yeah. there's different telephone numbers, okay?
Okay.
Of course, the national toll-free number that they can actually call is the 1-800-772-1213, okay?
Okay.
They can actually talk to a live person, um, and but it won't be a local Social Security office, okay? If you need to talk to the local personnel, we have two offices here in El Paso. One is located at Gateway West at Loma Land, and the other one is located at Texas and Ochoa, which is downtown. If you're calling the Social Security office at Gateway and Loma Land, their telephone number is 866-563-9310. If you're calling the Social Security office downtown, their telephone number is 866-964-6229. Now, one of the things that we highly recommend, if you're requested to submit any evidence, documents to support your claims for disability, for retirement, or for Medicare, we highly suggest that you call and get the fax number for the Social Security Administration. It's a lot easier than having to mail the original documents to the Social Security office, okay? But we're still open, and of course, our service is still available online. Visit our website, www.socialsecurity.gov. You can actually file for benefits, retirement, disability, Medicare. If you can't do it online, then of course, I highly recommend call one of those 800 numbers I gave you and schedule an appointment to do it over the telephone with a Social Security representative. In very, very dire need situations, critical situations, there will be times that a Social Security representative will be able to set up an appointment for the individual because they cannot do business with us through the internet or through the telephone.
Okay, very good. So there are those instances, special times where they can meet with an actual representative of Social Security in person, with all the, of course, precautions, the masks and the glass and the plastic glass and all that. Is there any last thing you'd like to share with us in this last minute we have in this interview with you?
Yes, the most important thing, and we already made reference to it, is regardless of your age, if you're 18 years of age or older, it is so important that you set up your My Social Security account. Okay? If you're receiving Social Security benefits, you can do a lot of business with us. If you need a letter from us, you get it. If you need to replace your Medicare card, and now this is the tax season, if you need a 1099, you can get it online, or monitor your Social Security record just to make sure that everything is in place, that nobody has tried to compromise your record. If you're not getting Social Security benefits, so important to monitor your Social Security record, because accuracy is very important, because we determine how much you're going to receive on a monthly basis based on what we have on your record. And if there's any inconsistencies, if we're missing earnings, you're not going to get the right amount from us. So very important to monitor the record at least once a year.
So you also kind of find out if somebody's using your Social Security to work in California or something. That has happened, right, Ray?
Yeah, definitely. It happens all the time. And by setting up your My Social Security account, those earnings are going to show up on your Social Security record, and you're going to know that they're not yours. So you're going to have to pick up the phone and call Social Security, and we're going to have to open an investigation to resolve the issue, to make sure that the rightful owner and the rightful earnings are credited to your Social Security number. Okay.
Very good. Well, thank you so much for being with us. I really appreciate it. It was so great to see you. We're so happy to see each other, even if it's over the monitor, virtually. One day we'll be back together again. Hopefully you'll still be working with the Social Security Office as I with EPCC, Senior Adult Program. But we've worked together for so many years, Ray, that we're just so connected because of our mission, and that is to help our elders in this community. And so we hope to invite you to the next Love Conference, maybe in 2022, that would be great. So
well, thank you so
we'll see what happens.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. I've enjoyed so much, and this is a gateway for me to actually reach out to the community to get the information out on Social Security. So again, if they have any questions, they can actually call me directly at 866-593-0939, extension 27404.
Very good. Well, thank you for being with us and have a great week. And we hope to see you soon. One of the things that I want to say is that don't stay away. And we're glad that EPCC Mature Living can help you get the word out.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Well, thank you for staying with us. We want to continue our conversations here on Mature Living. This beautiful May, beginning of May. It's spring. It's the weather's beautiful. So let's get going. We have invited Philip, who is our instructor for our clay making, artsy, all kinds of things that he's going to talk about. Phillip Romero is one of our faculty members, and he's going to be teaching in the summer, which the summer classes start at the beginning of June. So you can start registering for his class the first week of May. So we'll be telling you all about that later. But welcome to the show, Philip. It's good to have you again.
Hi, Mary. Thank you so much for inviting me back to Mature Living. This is my third interview with you, and we always have a wonderful time. And I think we're going to get in trouble because we talk way too much when we're on here.
We talk more off camera than we do on camera because they give us a time limit. So tell me a little bit about yourself and what you teach and what is the art that you teach.
Well, I teach ceramics and clay and also leatherworking. But what I like to do is I like to work with my hands mostly. And so it's very beneficial because ceramic art is beneficial to any age group. But I want to focus specifically for the adult seniors that are watching and listening here. Working with clay is also it's very beneficial because you get to work with your hands. I love to
Yes.
work with my hands. It's good for your fingers. If you feel that you have RA, and some people have told me I have RA, rheumatoid arthritis, and I can't. But I want to let you know that you can. I promise you. We're going to start very slowly. You get to work with the clay, play with it in your hands, and it's going to help to build your carpals back up. If you've had carpal tunnel surgery, it's wonderful, wonderful therapy. But not just so much for your hands and your body, but also for your mind, because we're going to learn how to explore art. We'll talk about art. We'll talk about our spirit. We'll talk about how we can do things. A lot of us have learned how to say, well, I can't do that, but I'm going to talk to you very gently and remind you that you can do these things. You are able, uh, as a human being, as a senior adult, the wonderful person that each and every one of you are. We're gonna make art. We're gonna play with the clay. We're gonna make some leather stuff. We're gonna laugh. We're gonna cry. We're gonna have a great.
I, I love your format of how you teach. And one of the things is that you laugh, you tell jokes while they're working with the clay. I can't open bottles anymore because I don't use my hands, and that might be a good way to strengthen my grip. And so I would be buying my own materials, right? That I can
Yes,
use at
ma'am.
home, and you're going to give the students what they need to buy.
Yes, so I will be sending a list to let you all know where you can go. Hopefully, in the time frame, I'll be able to send you a little coupon from the store. Like, you can go to Michael's, and if you become tech savvy, you can use your smartphone, get a 20% coupon from Michael's, and I'll send you to Michael's or Hobby Lobby, the local stores. So, very briefly, let me tell you that a lot of people think, how can you teach ceramics online? Well, I'm going to show you how we do it. We cannot use a kiln, obviously, because there's no place to fire right now.
Yes.
What we are going to do is we're going to use air dry clay,
Oh,
which you will have to buy on your own, but it's not very expensive. It's maybe $10 for a 5 pound bag that you can find at a local store here at Hobby Lobby or Michael's. And then I will recommend to you certain tools that you can buy at the same store. Um, and we're gonna work with our hands. We're gonna create these things. They're gonna be air dry clay, which means we get to work with it, and then you leave it alone, and within 24 hours, the clay will cure and get hard. And then we'll have a certain class where we'll use acrylic paints, and we can paint instead of using glazes, which is a ceramic. We're gonna use paints and paint these items and have a grand old time. And
Yes,
we'll
and
make,
they can be gifts. They can be
yes,
little heirlooms that they can give to their children or grandchildren from grandma, right, and grandpa. And
absolutely,
you
yes.
encourage the men to join your classes.
I do encourage the men to join my class. This is not just for ladies. You
We take over the world.
you do, yes, ma'am. But the men are very artistic also. It's not just about working in the yard and fixing a car. It's about making something that's functional. Can you imagine making something and then gifting it away and say, "Oh, my grandma made this for me. My tia made this for me. This is awesome." And I wish I had a piece that my loved ones have given to me, but I don't. But I do. I make plenty of things, and I gift many of my things away.
Yes,
Uh,
and we all have a love language. Mine is giving and gifting, or making and gifting. So everybody has a love language, and
yes,
and and through your classes, they can make these little special things, and you help them individually, right?
absolutely. Everybody gets individual attention. And so the way that I'll run my class is I'm going to say hi to you like we're having a little conversation now. And then I'm going to say, okay, I'm going to give you a demonstration. I'll give you a little demo. And in the class, I'll have a camera over my hands and show you very slowly and paced how to make it. And then I'm going to say, there's your demo, go make it. And I'll be watching all of you through the camera and giving each and every one of you individual attention to make. I want to make sure that everybody is confident in what they're doing, and you can't do anything wrong. You can't. It's mud. It's clay. We're gonna have a grand old time.
Why do you like teaching elders? I know you've probably taught young people, seniors, little kids, teenagers. What is it special about teaching the elderly?
Mary, let me tell you why I love teaching the elderly. I do teach all age ranges, from 3 all the way up to 93. And but the reason why I love my senior adults so much is because they've lived a wonderful life, and it's not over yet. I don't want you to think that you're at the end. You're not. You're still in the middle. And I want you to know that you are still able, you are still valued. You need to remember that you are competent. I'm going to remind you to be confident. I love to teach my senior adults because I like to remind you that you have a lot to contribute to this world. And part of my mission in my life is to remind our society and our culture the value of our senior adults in this world right now. We still have a lot to offer. We have a lot to give to the world. And you are not going to be written off. You are amazing people. I
Yeah.
love to hear my senior adults telling me their stories when we're in class.
Yeah. One of the things that has happened because we've had to all go online, and these kinds of art classes in person, of course, are much better taught, but they can be done online. And COVID has done this to us. And so I was just thinking, would you accept an elder that someone's helping them in your class to connect, right? To use technology, and have that person or that daughter or son or even a grandchild to come into the class and be a visitor so that grandma and grandpa can enjoy their class. Would that be something that would work out for in your class?
Oh, Mary, that would be awesome. I can imagine having a senior adult in my class, and maybe they do have a problem with the clay, and they can have a helper come sit right next to them. Come and sit right here with me. Come and sit right here with me. Look at the video. Explain to me how he's. Can you explain to me how he's doing that? Yes, grandma. Yes, mom. Whatever. And I'll be giving. It's a 2 for 1. We'll call it a two. We'll call it a 2 for 1. Why not? That would be awesome. You know
Yeah.
what? So instead of having a class of 10, I have a class of 20. That's awesome. That makes me feel amazing. You're gonna go help grandma. I know what you're doing, but that's okay. You're welcome in the class.
I want to help grandma.
You're going to get a bit of what materials to get. So maybe get twice as much clay. You're going to
Yes.
get a list of what tools you need. Maybe get twice as many tools. Have somebody sitting next to you. That way, instead of a class just for um, my senior adults, now it's a class for the community. But what we're doing is we're building stronger roots. Let's say it's granddaughter. Let's say it's 19-year-old granddaughter and 80-year-old grandma. But now what we've just done is we're creating this bond
Oh
between
my gosh.
generations. Oh my God, that would be so awesome. Can you imagine?
I can imagine. I mean, we're always trying to dream up new ways to reach our elders, not to be afraid of technology. And eventually, they just let them go. Pretty soon, they'll be taking your class and they'll be taking the line dance class. They'll be doing, more things, to keep them connected and engaged. And I think that's the important thing, to stay healthy, right, Philip? I know you like to make your classes fun. So what do you do for fun in your classes? Do you tell them jokes or something?
We love to listen to all kinds of music. And I asked my class, what kind of music do you guys want to listen to? We'll listen to 60s classic rock. We'll listen to the Doors. One day, one of my senior adults says, "Why are you listening to the Doors? You're too young to be listening to Jim Morrison." We listen to rancheras. We listen to everything. We listen to all music that motivates us. I love to tell stories. I love to tell jokes, anecdotes, and that encourages my students to say, "You know what? I like that joke. Let me tell you a joke." And then we all start to share, have wonderful times talking, joking, listening to music. We have a grand old time. I'm telling you, it's wonderful. If you're afraid that you can't get online, then invite someone to come in and sit down with you and log you on, and they can stay and join the class with you. Let's get signed up. The wonderful thing about being online, the benefit of being online is that we can have as many students as we can take, because I don't have to worry about 12 people in a classroom or 6 feet away or social distancing. We're all in the comfort of our own personal space. And so don't be afraid to sign up. May 1st, we're signing up classes. There's line dancing and there's drawing and painting, all this fun stuff. There's ceramics, beginning clay, we're calling it, or clay making, we're calling it. You do have to buy your own clay and you do have to buy your own tools, but it's your stuff. It's not community. It's your stuff. You keep it and pull it out.
Yes. And the best thing is that it's tuition free for the person 55 years and older, tuition free. What more can the college give us? We're going to be giving our senior adult program office number so that they can call us and ask us about the clay making class or the ceramics class with Phillip Romero, who is our instructor. And you're going to have a lot of fun. As you can see, he's very charming. He's very complimentary. The ladies love him. The gentlemen respect him. And he's going to be teaching everybody that joins that class tuition free. And we're going to give you the 915-831-7801 number. You can also email us if you want more information about our classes, about registration. And I've got it right here. And it's SAP. SAP stands for Senior Adult Program. So it's SAP@EPCC.edu. And so thank you, Philip, for being with us. I'm promoting your class 100%. We want that class to make, and then we'll go from there, because we have other classes. You have that leather making class.
That's true.
We need to promote that one as well. So hopefully we'll get those going. Thank you so much for being with us. Have a great week, and we'll have to see everybody again here on Mature Living next week.